Red's going all Hollywood on us, and Chris the Cardinal is making his way into our show. So plant your flag and celebrate the scoring. Chris always having fun with the crowd. These two dorks are making their way into your living rooms. Nothing but net. And there's no business like shoe business. Sports Night is next.
Thought, 1 week off out of the intro, and I thought maybe
back in.
Yeah.
They pulled you back in. Yeah, well.
Well, I
can't avoid it.
I tried to behave myself, but I just couldn't quite get it done. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro. And, some nice success for some of the squads
Some
this
very
week.
exciting,
Yes.
very exciting
good
things to talk about. And we have quite a bit of video, so we're going to get right to it. Boys hockey team enters this week on a winning streak. Their first of the season. The Cardinals went into last week's play knowing it was 2 games they could win, but they would have to be on top of their games and stay consistent. Up first, a trip to Armstrong Cooper on Thursday. The Wings blanked the Cardinals 4-0 in the first meeting, but they had been struggling their previous few, and they were primed for the Cardinals to have their revenge. Coon Rapids gets on the board midway through the first. Sam Luneman with a blast from the point. He buries it top shelf. Luneman's first of the season puts the Cardinals on top 1-0. But the lead doesn't last long. The Wings pressure and force a turnover. Thomas Barber sends Trey Rooney in on a breakaway. He beats St. John low on the stick side, and the score is even up with 5:45 left in the first. That put momentum on the Wings side. Rooney again. Watch this. Great stick work to walk past Hafner. Then this one is just going to slide under Zach St. John. Rooney scores twice in a little less than 90 seconds, put Armstrong Cooper up 2-1. Cardinals don't hang their heads. They go back to work on the power play late in the period. Shot for the point is tipped and stopped. Brent Johnson there for the rebound and put it home. The game is tied at 2-2. Final seconds of the first. Scary hit in the corners. Nick Gervais is taken into the boards hard. It's called boarding instead of checking from behind, but it means another advantage for the Cardinals. Starting the second on the power play, Zach Kavelka takes the shot from the boards, and it finds its way through the traffic and into the back of the net, putting Coon Rapids back in front 3-2. They add to the lead late in the period, working it back to the point. Dominic Hafner with a seeing eye snapshot that beats the keeper, gives the Cardinals a 2-goal advantage. The Hawks get one back in the third after St. John went down with an injury. It was replaced by JV tender Tyler Hansen, but the Cardinals hold on and get a big 4-3 win.
Oh, a nice win for the program, no doubt. We did that game earlier,
yes,
and where they lost to the
correct
to Robert Armstrong, and so it was nice to come back and get the win. And you have to have that this time of year. They're struggling. They're struggling to get W's, and you feel that this time of year as it gets a little closer to the sections, little chemistry, and a little continuity for them.
Well, and I think that they weren't playing as well when they first saw Armstrong as they have been the past couple of weeks, and 2, they really felt they could have played better with that team. Armstrong Cooper has a really good first line.
Their
first line is very impressive, but behind them, a lot of opportunity for the Cardinals to have a little bit of advantage and maybe mismatch a little bit on lines, and this time they were able to get it done and get away with the 4-3 win. The biggest, scary note is the injury to Zach St. John.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll talk a little about that certainly tomorrow night and a little bit later. But yeah, he got a little bit of an ankle injury, didn't play the next game, and hoping to come back tomorrow night.
And even without him in the net, the Cardinals went out and got him a victory. Max Ammon took over between the pipes and made 12 saves to get the win over Irondale Cardinals with 3-2 victory. Zach Kavelka, 2 goals and an assist, factoring in on all 3 Cardinal goals. Travis Hess had the other goal for the Cardinals, and that's 2 in a row. And a busy week for them. They're at Anoka on Tuesday, and Howie?
We'll be there.
And then they host Centennial on Thursday, and then they're at Blaine on Saturday.
Tough week.
That is a tough
week.
So it's a good time for them to have a little bit of momentum coming into this very tough and busy week.
Without a doubt. Well, the girls' hockey team starts the playoffs this weekend, and while they've been playing well, the Cardinals have been a little snake-bitten as of late. The final week of the regular season started with a visit from Champlain Park. The Cardinals beat the Rebels 2-0 in the first meeting of the season. In this one, both teams were trying to break out of skids and gain some traction before the playoffs. It was senior night at Coon Rapids Ice Center with 8 Cardinals playing in their final regular season home game of their careers. The game is scoreless until late in the first. Rebels win a draw outside the zone. Brianna Johnson skates in wide, shoots through the screen, beating Buell up high to give Champlain Park the 1-0 lead after the first. The Cardinals answer early in the second. Brina Del Castillo with the top of the circle. Allie Stahlberger is going to tip it out front, even it up at a goal apiece. Just under 3 minutes left in the period, and Jordan Trapp shows off the speed. She gets all the way around to the outside, cuts back in front of the goal, putting the Rebels back in front late in the second. And now they're going to get another one before the next break. Rebels pressuring down low. Puck comes in free to Kaylee Martinson. She fires it to the net, finding the hole under the arm of Buell, and Champlain Park goes up to the locker room up 2 at 3-1. Cardinals pushing hard in the third, but they get caught deep, allowing Martinson to get the breakaway. She gets her second goal of the game. The Rebels go on to the 4-1 win. And, Joe, we were there, obviously, and it's a tough loss for Coon Rapids because they felt coming in with just a couple of games left in the regular season, an opportunity to make sure they secure a decent seed in the section playoffs.
Well, and for most of that game, they outplayed the Rebels.
They
really did.
Absolutely.
They looked to be the superior team, but they could not bury their opportunities. Kaylee Martinson, a pretty nice hockey player.
Yes.
You can't give her the kind of opportunities that she had.
Nope.
And she converted, and credit to the Rebels that they made the most out of the opportunities they had, although they were outplayed. They get the victory, get their revenge, and even that season series at 1-1. Cardinals on Saturday finished off the regular season at Anoka against the Tornadoes, and they tied the Tornadoes 1-1. And this is a team that, looking at it about midway through the season, they were looking at these two late season games against the Tornadoes as two games they really felt they could and should win. And instead, it's an overtime loss in Game 1 and a tie in Game 2. The Cardinals finished the regular season with an 11-12-2 record, 6-10-2 in the conference. And we'll have to see exactly how it plays out with the seedings. We're hoping for a text from Coach Christofferson before we get off the set here tonight. It could happen.
Could happen. She didn't think it would be till after 8, but
probably.
We hope so.
Their meeting just started as we were coming out onto the set, but we may know by the end of the show who the Cardinals will get in the quarterfinals. Chances are, because of their late season struggles, the Cardinals will be a low seed, and they will face a tough team in that first round of the playoffs. We are hoping here at CTN, of course, that the Cardinals go all the way, but for sure get past the quarters, because we won't be able to cover the quarters. We will be there for the semis if the Cardinals make it.
Well, we hope to see everybody there.
Absolutely. So if we get those seedings, we will pass them along.
Breaking news. You got the sound
right
going, so
I got
breaking
it right
news.
there.
Right.
If you hear the tweet, that means we probably have those for you a little bit later in the show. Wrestling team has just one duel left before the section tournament, but it'll be hard to match the intensity of last week's battle with the Anoka Tornadoes. Conference title was on the line when the two teams met on Friday night's showdown. The Cardinals came in ranked 7th, with the Tornadoes 2 spots back at number 9. Both were undefeated, both were hungry for another conference title, and neither was going to give an inch. Cardinals captain Mike Jones cut all the way down to 106, and he starts the meet right for the Cardinals, scoring a 10-5 decision over Colby Noss. This one goes back and forth through the early matches. Justin May comes up big for Coon Rapids at 145. A late takedown gets him a 7-5 decision, evens the team score at 12-12. Bonus points were huge in this one because it was so tight. Captain Keanu Baker gets some extras for the Cardinals, stretches his man to the mat and gets the pin late in the first period at 152. It was the only pin of the night for the Cardinals. At 160, a close match going. It could go either way, but Joey Bothwell's determination wins out. He just keeps driving to get the takedown, holds on for a crucial 5-4 decision, put Coon Rapids up 21-12 at that point. After an Anoka pin and a decision for Alex Caldarella, the older Bothwell took the mat. Knowing a decision would all but guarantee a victory for his Cardinals, he got the job done, scoring a 6-0 win. Tornadoes needed bonus points in the last 2 matches to tie or win. Tyler Birdall wrestling up at 220. He's number 3 at 195. His opponent, number 3 at 220. Bothwell goes out there, takes the guy to overtime. He loses in the extra period, but with just the 1 point, Cardinals mathematically have the victory. They win 28-24, hoist the coveted Golden Shoe Trophy, and with it comes a Northwest Suburban Conference Championship, a title they've earned with an amazing season, one they've been missing the last 2 years. Along with that trophy, the Golden Shoe Trophy, now 5 years running, Cardinals hold the advantage 3-2. 2.
And what an exciting night it was. You know, we went old school broadcasting.
Way
that one.
old school.
One camera, Mike's pinned to our shirt. It was a lot of fun.
A little impromptu Adam Tronson interview.
Which was always good. And you and I barely could hear each other speak, but it was a lot of fun. And the atmosphere, like always, they turn the lights out and it gets the lights over the mat.
It was very exciting. And the Coon Rapids, although it was at Anoka, it felt many parts of that match like it was a Coon Rapids home meet because the Coon Rapids fans were
loud.
Very loud.
Yeah, and we were on the other side. We were on the Anoka side, and so yeah, it got crazy. It was a lot of fun.
It was very fun, and the Cardinals didn't have a lot of time to rest and relax after that one because the following morning they were in Blaine for the Blaine Duels, and they did something that no other team has ever done in the history of Coon Rapids High School. A perfect score over Irondale, 84-0. There are your 8 pins in the match for the Cardinals. They also had 6 forfeits to go along with that. But more impressive than the fact that there were 8 pins, all but 2 of those 8 were in the first period.
It's amazing.
And none lasted beyond the second period. That one was quick. 84-0 I want you to, before we move on to the next one, just notice Tyler Birdall, 26 seconds. Okay, what were you going to say?
That may have been a much quicker match than the Champlain Park match that we did when you were out of town.
Semifinals, the Cardinals got Eden Prairie, and they win 49-16 over the Eagles. There are your 5 pins. Again, Jolkowski getting his pin in the third period. The other 3 of the others coming in the first. Ratliff right in the middle of the second period. Notice Tyler Birdall, 39 seconds. Okay. To the championship we go. The Cardinals beat Malacca 29-25. 2 pins in this one. Tyler Birdall, 12 seconds.
Wow.
He was 3-0 with 3 pins.
That's incredible.
And he was on the mat for less than an entire period.
Isn't that unbelievable?
That's
just amazing.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, very impressive.
But Malacca, a good squad, and the Cardinals went out and handled their business. They are now the 3-time defending champion of the Blaine Duels. So congratulations to them, and what a great way for them to just continue to pick up speed heading towards the postseason. They get Foley on Friday.
That'll be a heck of a match.
Foley is a very highly rated 2A team that beat the Cardinals last year. The Cardinals put them on the schedule again right before sections, knowing that this is a good opponent for them to really get ready for the
revenge from last year
section tournament. That match is at home on Friday. I'm sure that the Cardinals fans will once again be raucous and fill the Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse. And then the section championships are a week from Friday. I think they're at St. Francis. Don't quote me on that. Gymnastics team had 2 events this past week, and they were very consistent. Unfortunately, they lost a couple of competitors in this one. They beat Irondale Spring Lake Park with a score of 122.475. Hannah Gross and Kennedy Koval pretty much leading the way in all events for the Cardinals. Kamika Hurdle also getting on the podium on the floor in 3rd place. Hannah Gross first all around with a 33.45. Kennedy Koval in 3rd. On Saturday, they took on Blaine Andover. Again, they put up about the same score, 122.75. Hannah Gross, 3rd place on the floor and on the vault. Kamika Hurdle, 3rd all around. Koval, 4th all around. Hurdle, that should say Gross, 3rd all around. I was going to say, that'd be pretty impressive for Kamika Hurdle.
3rd and 5th.
3rd and 5th. But she was 5th.
That's hustling.
And McKenna Mudge was 6th. So they did lose a couple of girls. So a couple of girls that couldn't compete for parts or both of those events. And that's going to be a tough thing for them to overcome with the small team that they have. And you saw, we were talking about it, there's scores in the upper 120s. And they lost a couple of girls that typically are getting them a little bit better scores. So they dropped down to the 122s. Still a pretty good score for this program historically.
Yeah, one of those will win, so that's certainly good as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cardinals at Elk River on Thursday. The Elks, always a very impressive team. The Section 7 AA championships are a week from Friday. Swimming and diving. After having the Cambridge Isani Blue Jacket Invitational last Saturday, we're right back in Cambridge for a one-on-one meeting with the Blue Jackets. They lose this one 96-72. Alex Schmidt had first place finishes in both the 200 IM and the 100 fly. Austin Frazier was first in the 100 back. And second in the 200 free, Aaron Rosso was second in diving. Jonathan Kutsky grabbed a third-place finish in the 100 fly. They also met up with Champlain Park. They weren't both on the same day.
No,
This was
that
actually
would
on
be
Thursday. Cambridge was on Tuesday. That'd be a quick drive between two pools. Long night. Pretty impressive, though. Austin Frazier, we know 100 back is his event, and it's not odd to see him in first place. But a 59.35, that's impressive.
Yes, sir.
That's almost 4 seconds faster than he was on Tuesday. So congratulations to Austin Frazier. Aaron Rosso took first place in diving. Johnston was second. Alex Schmidt had second place finishes in both the 200 and the 100 free. Austin Frazier also third place in the 50 free. And Tate Andrews was third place in the 500 free. The annual battle for supremacy of the Northdale Middle School pool is coming up this week on Tuesday as the Cardinals take on the Blaine Bengals, and then they are at Centennial on Thursday. It's always interesting with the boys' swimming schedule because it starts kind of slow,
Yes,
and then it's like when they're doing the schedule. Yeah, 1 meet a week. Oh wait, we got to get this done. So now they're doing 2 meets a week because they've only got a couple of weeks left. Of course, they're a couple weeks behind most of the other sports when it comes to sections and whatnot. But.
And always a big one when Blaine and Coon Rapids meet for battle of the supremacy of the pool, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Well, the Nordic ski teams head into the section championship this week, looking to improve on last week's conference finish. The Cardinals' times at the Northwest Suburban meet were respectable, but this team is not satisfied. They know they can cut even more time off their finishes, and they plan to prove it at sections. Overcast skies and warmer than ideal temperatures for last week's tournament at Theodore Wirth Park. Dan Matthews had the best time in both disciplines for the pursuit. Coon Rapids and finished in 12th place overall. Ryan Nelson was the Cardinals' second fastest in the pursuit with a combined time of 36:35. Ryan Haida was just 16 seconds off that pace and 2 places back, finishing 26th. Kyla Murhoff had a slow start in the Classic, but picked up a stronger freestyle, finishing 35th overall as the Cardinals took 7th. On the girls' side was senior captain Caitlin Benson leading the way. She finished in 43.50, good enough for 18th place. The next two finishers show the future for Coon Rapids program. 8th grader Olivia Ellenbecker finishes 39th overall in 48 minutes flat. And her younger sister, 7th grader Abby Ellenbecker, was 49th in just over 49 minutes. Senior Jessica Swanson and 8th grader Izzy Haberman rounded out the top 5 for the Cards, finishing 64th and 65th, respectively. The girls also finished 7th in the conference championships.
What does that say about the future of their program?
Yeah.
2 8th graders and a 9th grader making the top 5 for the Cardinals at the conference. They hope to be able to do the same, even better, at the Section 5 championships. That's coming up on Thursday, also at Theodore Wirth, I believe. I had that written down here somewhere. Yes, also at Theodore Wirth. And then the state championships are a week from Thursday. I was just checking on something because not hockey, but I did mean to update the gymnastics. I as soon as we got into gymnastics, I thought about I forgot to look and just update. It was Becky Lammers, sprained an ankle.
Okay.
Did not finish against Irondale and did not compete in the Blaine Andover meet, and McKenna Mudge was also sidelined for the entire Irondale meet.
Well, that certainly hurts.
But was back for the Blaine Andover meet.
Okay.
So we'll have to, you talk about sports that are really hard on your body, and everyone says football, hockey, and there's definitely, but the girls,
it takes a toll.
The girls that do gymnastics, the things that they do to their bodies. They definitely take a beating, and we hope they're able to recover enough to have a strong finish.
Absolutely.
For the season. Alpine ski team finished up the regular season last week with race 5 at Wild Mountain. The boys finished in 10th place. Jake Luer leading the way, continuing to lead the way. He was 35th overall with a time of 1 minute 15.75 seconds. Aaron Caroon behind him. Marcelin in 70th. Nico Tweedy,
love it,
72nd place. I think he's a younger guy too. If I remember right, looking at it, he's like a sophomore. So we get to see that.
Oh, that's good.
We get to see that name for a while, which is awesome. Kyle was 76th place in a minute 53.08. On the girls' side, Emma Bolin was the top finisher for the Cardinals in 23rd. Emma Pearson was in 25th. Maddie Bolin I'm guessing fell on one of her runs. She finishes 1:12.37. She had been top 5 in most of the races. But remember, this was only an opportunity for really for individuals to improve their place before sections,
right,
because it was originally in case it's only your top 4 of 5 count. So Maddie can just throw
that one away.
Throw those scores
out. That's
out.
always good.
Section 7 championships coming up on Tuesday. Those are up in Bowabic at Giants Ridge. The state championships are a week from Wednesday, and those also up at Giants Ridge. The boys basketball team schedule last week was a little bit sour and a little bit sweet, but in the end left a bad taste in the mouth. The sour spot came on Tuesday with a trip to Armstrong to take on the Falcons squad that is having a fantastic year. They came in at 14-2. Their only loss at home all season was a 3-point nail-biter against Champlain Park. Cardinals knew it was going to be a tough night. Coon Rapids gets on the board first. Armstrong looking for the early 3. It won't fall. Peyton Foy gets the rebound, quickly gets it up court for Timmy Wynn. He gets the bucket and the foul. Cards lead 3-0. Falcons like the long ball, and they go back to it their next possession. True Thompson knocks this one down from the corner, evens the score at 3-all. Cardinals able to keep pace early on. Good movement, avoiding the pressure defense. They get Sam Carver beyond the arc. The big man hits the 3. We're still tied. Another double-double for Carver with 12 points and 10 boards. But you can only contain the Falcons for so long. They start to fly away. Big steal and break for Sean Burns. Finishes with a 2-handed flush. He was one of 4 players in double digits for Armstrong. Then late in the half, the long bomb from Jerome Dixon. Falcons fly to the break, up 39-27. Cardinals still within striking distance, but Armstrong just keeps firing in the second. Evan Nolan hits another 3-pointer from the right wing. Then great movement on this play, and they find Burns underneath for another dunk. Armstrong coasts to the 86-57 win.
Pretty impressive squad is Armstrong. You talked about just the 3-point loss to Champlain Park, and that was a game where they were up and they had an opportunity to beat the Rebels, and so it's always a tough opponent no matter who you're playing.
Yeah.
Well, the part of the schedule that was supposed to be sweet, well, turned out to be quite bitter instead. The Cardinals figured Friday night's game against Irondale was a great opportunity to get their second conference win of the year. The Irondale Knights had just 4 wins this season. They had lost 6 straight in 12 of their last 13 games. It seemed a perfect chance for the Cardinals to end their long losing streak. Unfortunately, Irondale was eyeing this game up as well, and they come out strong. Andy Eichen with an open look from the top of the key hits the 3, gives the Knights an early lead. Cardinals looking for an answer at the other end. Nice look to Peyton Foy underneath. He hits the left-handed reverse layup and keeps this one close. We're still in the first. Good movement by the Cardinals to Timmy Wynn. He's in the low post. He battles and scores. He finished with a team-high 11 points against the Irondale. Late in the first, Brandon Pratt with great anticipation for the steal. He'll go the distance, lay it up and the Cardinals trail 26-22 at the break. We move to early in the second. Cardinals get caught behind the play, and Irondale gets a good look in transition. Great follow by Ioana Utak-Ekpan. He led all scorers with 21. 2 players scored 41, Irondale 60 points, but it wasn't enough to get the win over the Cardinals. It was enough, I'm sorry. The Knights prevail on this one, 60-49. And Joe, it's a tough one because they thought coming in they had an opportunity to get that win, that conference win, and unfortunately they weren't going to get it done.
I thought you were going to say it was a tough one to pronounce, but you pulled it off beautifully.
Thanks. I practiced.
Nicely
I practiced
done.
since this
nicely
afternoon.
Done, Shapiro. And that's I think even tougher pill to swallow for the Cardinals is they contained all but 2 players, but 2 players scored 41 of their 60 points.
60 points, yeah, absolutely.
And you got to be able to step up and shut them down. And the Cardinals' road does not get easier. Cool. They're at Champlain Park on Tuesday, or at Eden Prairie on Tuesday, at Champlain Park on Friday, and then they host Mount Westaka on Saturday. I don't know much about Mount Westaka. I do know that Eden Prairie is a pretty good team, and Champlain Park is a very good team.
Number 1 team in the state.
So yeah, that's a couple of tough back-to-back games, and then after playing Champlain Park, who is again number 1, they're all right.
All right. Not bad.
They're okay. On their home court. Might be a little difficult, and then you have no time to lick your wounds because you're playing Mount Westaka the very next day. Whew. Well, good luck to the boys. We'll have the latest for you next week on Sportsnight. Struggles continue for the girls basketball team. 3 tough games this past week, 2 against conference opponents and another against a section rival. It started on Tuesday when the Cardinals welcomed Armstrong. Falcons were struggling, coming in on a 5-game skid, but it wasn't enough for the Cardinals to try to take advantage. Cardinals trying to set the pace early. Kaylee Porrish with a fake and the drive to the basket, then sticking with it to get the rebound and the follow, the start of an 11-point effort for her. It's a seesaw battle early. Great little escape by Lyric Williams to get the hole. She was impressive in this one, putting up 27 for Armstrong. It's punch and counter punch. Porrish battling through a foul at the other end will get this basket, and that would keep the game tied midway through the first half. Cheyenne Siner working off the dribble from midcourt, switches direction, scores with the left hand, and again, the score is tied. Late in the half, Latia Turman gets a rebound, leads the fast break to the other end, handing off to Callie Fleck for the finish, plus the foul. Armstrong has a slim 4-point lead at the break. Falcons turn up the pressure on defense in the second. That helps them increase the lead. Fleck with the steal in the finish. She finished with 11 points. Another steal for Fleck. It was all Fleck on this show. Gets ahead of Williams, who misses, but Fleck is following for another finish. The Falcons fly away in the second half, outscoring the Cardinals 49-14 in the second half for the 75-36 win.
That last basket looked like an assist to me, that she put it hard off the backboard to get the assist. Consistency, much like the boys program, the girls, Joe, going through the same kind of thing. They're consistent for a little bit, but then they can't continue it through the entire length of the game, and it's been hurting them. Did you get some news hot off the press?
I got hot off the press as I have the girls hockey seedings.
Let's hear it.
What's your guess?
5.
You are incorrect.
6?
They are number 6.
Okay.
Guess who?
It was either 5 or 6.
And that means they get number 4 in the first round. Guess who?
Champlin Park.
Champlin Park. One. Oh wait,
4 and 5.
4 and 5. They get Mounds View.
They get Mounds View. Okay.
Number 3.
All right.
Way to go, highlights calling me out.
Yeah, well.
So Centennial,
Somebody
the number 1 seed. Blaine, the number 2 seed.
Okay.
Remember, the Cardinals beat and tied the Bengals this year. Mounds View the 3, Champlin the 4, Irondale the 5, Coon Rapids 6, Spring Lake Park 7, Anoka 8, and Rogers 9. Anoka beat and tied the Cardinals.
Yeah.
2 spots behind them. They have to play in the pigtail game.
Yep, a little surprising.
A little bit, but talking to the coaches before the game last week, and they were both kind of saying, listening to them talk to one another, they were saying, anybody can win the section this year. It's really that close, 1 all the way down to 8 or 9. Girls basketball team also playing Eden Prairie. They host the Eagles. Oh, I forgot. They had a couple more games that I had to get to. They lost to St. Francis on Thursday, 56-36. And then on Friday, they lost to Irondale, 91-54. Kaylee Porrish put in 21 points. Marina Nyberg added 11, but they still lose by 37. And they will play Eden Prairie on Tuesday and Champlin Park on Friday. A tough schedule for them as well. And then, as we talked about, the girls hockey tournament starts this weekend on Saturday over at the Roseville Arena, and the Cardinals will get Mounds View in the first round of the playoffs. And we hope to see them after their upset the following Tuesday. And there it is for you on F Tuesday, February 10th. On Tuesday the 3rd, which is tomorrow, we're at Anoka for boys hockey. And then hopefully we'll have girls hockey for you in the playoffs, in the semifinals on Tuesday the 10th. And then a little more boys hockey next Thursday. The Cardinals at Andover, and that Andover team is playing really well.
I didn't know there was a new day in the week, F Tuesday.
F Tuesday.
For Tuesday. I'll see you then.
For all of us here at CTN, we want to thank everybody out there for joining us, continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young. Saying good night.